welcome back to another episode of Garden State Growing. And I am going to shoot a video that I have probably should have posted a long time ago, but I just didn't have the time. I'm sorry, but here we go. I'm going to take you on a full garden tour of what my garden looks like right now. Now, I'm going to have to say that it's not looking great. As far as optimal garden production and getting the most out of every plant that I have this year, because of life, I fell behind by a long time, and I'm just trying to play catch up as we go along. There's a lot of you out there that's going to say, why even bother at this point? And I'm going to say because there is not a year that I've ever said you were a complete failure. Okay, there was every year that I learned something new, and I'm learning right now. I'm learning the importance of doing what you can do, when you can do it, and get it done when it needs to get done. I mean, I kind of said to myself that everything was going to be okay, but I kept on falling more and more behind. Let's just call it procrastination, or I'm going to call it life. So let's get this tour started. And the first plant that I want to bring you in on is not one that I shoot a lot of videos about, but I have in the past, and that is my Blackberry plant. So I want you to take a look at this plant. It is big, it is luscious. Obviously, I made some mistakes when pruning it last year because I see a lot of solid dead branches, and I will go in there, I will tag them. I will not cut them now because it's too dangerous to go in there. If you get stuck with any of these thorns, they're hypodermic needles, they will get you infected. You will end up with, at least I do, all over my skin. I cannot spend that much time on each plant, so let's move on. Oh, but before I do, let's pick out a blackberry and eat it. So I hope you can see the rich, beautiful colors on this one blackberry. And yes, the whole rest of the plant is, producing the same type of berries as you see as the ones surrounding it. But for whatever reason, this one blackberry decided to mature a little bit early. And I'm going to try to pull it off and see how easily that picked off. I barely had to pull it. That means it's ripe. If it takes a lot of force to pull a blackberry, it probably means it's not that ripe right there. So you might want to hold back on it for, I'm talking, a day or two. So I'm looking at this one. I hope you can see that as well. And I'm trying to pull it, and it's a little tough. So I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to try to force it. And yes, I did go ahead and spike myself a whole bunch of times just to bring you this video. Nothing to see here, nothing to see here. It's just a bunch of dead roses. We had roses, they're gone now. Let's move on. And if you can see right here, we have a bunch of, I think the scientific name for these are yellow flowers. And I'm gonna just let the yellow flowers bloom. So over here we have the potatoes that I planted from the Woodbury Farms, the seed potatoes that they gave me. I chitted them, I dunked them in ash, and I let them scarify. They went into the ground. They're looking marvelous right now. I'm starting to see some flowering buds on top, and what that means is they're getting pollinated and they're producing a potato down below. So that's awesome. But the flowers are not as aggressive as I would like to see right now. And I made a mistake. I should have hilled them up. What is that? If you want to see a video on that, leave a comment in the description below, and I'll be happy to make a whole video about it. But it is the process of adding soil to these plants as they grow, so they will grow more potatoes. I just didn't have time. No excuses. Let's move on. So let's move around to where my trampoline is and my trampoline trellis. Again, I'm disappointed. I only have 50% of this trellis filled in. Not even. I actually took the time to add a second layer of trellising with this drainage pipe, but since it took me so stupidly long to put it together, I actually missed an opportunity to plant things down below. Now, it's not like a fail. Again, I have infrastructure now that I could use for next year that will be easier for me to deal with. I don't have to build something next year. But even still, it's not a failure because I still have an opportunity maybe like another 4 or 5 weeks, I could plant beans and peas and everything, cucumbers, and let them come up in the fall when the temperature starts to drop, you know, below 80 degrees every day. So, and then over here, and I'm going to bring you in close, I'm going to tell you a little bit about both of these projects and bring you in close, but I want you to see the, this is a 100-gallon potting bag thing, I think, whatever you call it. I believe it's 100 gallons. Can't remember right now. But anyway, so what I first did was I put this up and I planted garlic and onion bulbs that I had gotten as seed starters from other companies. And I just slammed them into the ground, and after a couple of weeks I was like, nah, I've never done it with like bulbs like that before. I've always started from seeds. So I tried that out, and then I was like, this isn't gonna work, and I threw a bunch of beans on top, and fortuitously, I almost got it out. The beans started to grow really well, and then all of a sudden the garlic and the onions started sprouting up beside them. I am not worried, because just like tomatoes, I will plant garlic and onions with my tomatoes. One, because it's said to be a pest repellent, and two, they just grow well together. So real quick, I just wanted to take you down and show you how my peas and my, what is this, the Mexican sour gherkin. So I got cucamelons growing. No, they are not watermelons. What do I have here? Hold on. Let me take it out of the tripod. So let me just show you the actual trellising conduit. It actually is working very well. There are some weeds, very easy to take care of. Just be careful not to pull out your own plant. But anyway, and then I have some Mexican sour gherkins right here, or cucamelons if you want to call them. I have some Ashley cucumbers. My Boston pickling cucumbers did not grow at all whatsoever. These guys are all tangled up with each other. I'm gonna just give them a manual help right there. Same thing with this one. They need to climb. They don't need to fall over. So, and a couple little weeds, a dead leaf. Dead leaves do the plant absolutely no justice. They're just hanging on, trying to, you know, replenish something that shouldn't be replenished. What I have, the munching cucumber. So I got one of these plants. I'm going to try to stick him right there in there. And see, you know, I lost quite a few. I mean, it's real terrible. I'm very upset about it. But when you can't get to the garden, your garden will get to you. Beta alpha cucumber. And then I have some golden sweet peas growing right here. Looks like my Findy, I don't know, you pronounce that, I don't. All right, so moving on. So hey everyone, I'm gonna have to stop this right now. This is gonna be the completion of part 1. If you want to see continuing video part 2 and probably part 3, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. If you like this video, hit that like button. I will be putting out the part 2 and part 3 very soon, as well as the fig tree video, the cuttings, part 2 very soon. Actually, that's the next one that's coming out right now. So I love you and have a great evening, and I will see you on the next episode.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting strong.
I already called not helping. No. I call ignoring you.
I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.